A stunning winter looks as if it has been lightly retouched in a graphic editor. Snow too even, horizon too clean, lines too precise. And then, in this white calm, a sound emerges. At first barely noticeable, then distinct. Music, footsteps, applause. The city begins to move in the rhythm of dance. The Silkway International Festival has been bringing dancers from around the world to Kazakhstan's capital for several years. What once seemed almost daring has now become an event prepared for months in advance, one that reshapes training schedules. The tournament has long outgrown local scale. It is now a World Dance Championship, where European precision meets Latin American passion in a single program. On the judging panel are representatives from across the globe: the UK, USA, Russia, Ukraine, Kazakhstan. Experts of the highest caliber, those who have stood in the finals of the biggest tournaments or trained champions themselves. Their decisions are calm, exact, rarely marked by excess emotion. In dance, it's not volume that matters, but quality.
Kazakhstan
Kazakhstan is located in such a central point that it brings many countries together, from Asia, from Europe, from East and West. Kazakhstan is a very hospitable country, and here at Silkway we see a wide presence of nations and a very friendly atmosphere. The level of organization is excellent. Hotels, parquet, lighting, everything is at the highest standard. But above all, you feel the hospitality very strongly. The name of the festival recalls the historic route that once connected continents through trade and ideas. Today, the exchange takes a different form. Instead of caravans, airplanes. Instead of silk, glittering costumes. Instead of spices, adrenaline before stepping onto the floor. But the meaning remains the same. It is a meeting of cultures. In recent years, the number of participants has at least doubled. More than 3,000 dancers, over 20 countries. The figures impress, but what's more fascinating is the detail. How juniors from different nations warm up side by side, compare shoes, discuss music. How coaches exchange glances. How parents worry more than their children. Silkway has become a point of attraction. It is valued for its organization, its clear regulations, its sense of seriousness, and yet equally for its rare warmth. Here they know how to uphold standards while preserving humanity. Perhaps the truest description begins not with posters but with silence before the start. Outside, the city remains white and calm. Inside, the hall is charged with anticipation. At that moment, it becomes clear. Ahead lies not just a competition, but a story to be remembered. Once upon a time, the waltz was considered almost scandalous. Imagine dignified gentlemen in frock coats anxiously watching couples spin too close together. Society endured the shock. More than that, it grew proud of it. Dance history has a way of turning scandal into classic. Ballroom dancing grew out of the grand European salons of the 18th and 19th centuries. Back then, manners, posture, and the skill of not stepping on a lady's hem were paramount. Later, the graceful waltz was joined by the foxtrot and quickstep, and then the fiery tango. The 20th century brought rumba, samba, and cha-cha-cha into European halls. From that moment, calm academic precision met Latin American character. The result was a union that still keeps audiences in breathless anticipation. so-called tan dance program in ballroom competition was shaped in Great Britain. There, clear standards emerged: technique, musical tempo, costume, judging criteria. And there too was born the tournament that dancers speak of almost as a promise of greatness, the Blackpool Dance Festival. The Winter Gardens Hall in that English town is called a special place. They say once you step onto the floor, you can never treat dance lightly again. There is romance in that claim and a great deal of truth.
Кстати, в этом году Блэкпулу исполнится 100 лет. Бальные танцы начинали...
By the way, this year Blackpool celebrates its centenary. Ballroom dancing began in the form we now dance in England.
Место для танцоров.
It is considered a sacred place for dancers. The Winter Gardens Hall is magnificent. When people enter, they immediately feel the atmosphere, even its scent. They say once you've been to Blackpool, you can never give up dancing. So yes, it's memories, performances, and wonderful memories at that.
Выступлений. Это прекрасные воспоминания.
The judges of Silkway often carry experience from the world's greatest arenas. Selection is strict. The highest category is awarded only to those who have proven their professionalism over years. These are people who can distinguish between a flashy move and a truly refined technique. Their eyes catch details invisible to the audience. Interestingly, dance couples themselves have changed over the decades. They've become stronger, more enduring, faster. Training now resembles athletic preparation. Work on posture, breathing, balance honed to scientific precision. Yet despite the sport-like discipline, there remains space for art. In the final, everything is decided by nuances. A pause in the rumba, control in the tango, lightness in the waltz. I believe this is a very good format for communication. For us, it's the first time our team has come to Kazakhstan for a competition. It's a kind of bridge between Europe and Asia. The opportunity to hold such international tournaments here in Kazakhstan plays an important role in strengthening interaction between the two continents. Now we are gradually coming closer together, moving toward deeper integration. Asian dance has advanced significantly and is increasingly blending into the European system. In recent years, Asia has made its presence felt with confidence. China, Japan, South Korea, all showing remarkable progress. The exchange of experience between continents is growing. That is why the stage in Astana carries special meaning. Here, schools, traditions, and styles meet. Dance history is not written in textbooks, but in halls. Every tournament becomes a new chapter. Silkway carefully inscribes its name into this long story.
Бальные танцы — это...
Ballroom dance is the song of the soul. It is the expression of human emotion through the body's movement. It is inexhaustible energy, drive, the overcoming of oneself. And above all, ballroom dance is about faith in yourself. Victory belongs to those whose belief in themselves is unshakable.
В ком вера в себя непоколебима.
Any major tournament relies not only on music and costumes. It relies on people who can count seconds. Organizing a world championship is not about inspiration, it's about spreadsheets, approvals, and dozens of emails marked urgent. To earn the right to host a world event, you must convince international bodies of one simple fact: you are ready. Silkway proved it in practice. The venue meets standards. Lighting is set to highlight the dancer's frame. Scheduling runs precisely. The judging panel is formed by strict criteria. It all sounds dry, but within that dryness lies quality. When the audience notices no mistakes, it means the team has worked perfectly. The hardest management challenge is to organize everything, bring everyone together, and keep everything strictly on time, strictly by protocol. That's the toughest part, making sure the image in your head becomes reality. The main principle is professionalism. Professionalism in everything. The venue, the judges, the atmosphere, in everything.
Во всем.
They call it a festival, and there is a touch of irony in that. By scale and level, it's a full-fledged world championship, but the World Festival adds a sense of celebration. Not only competition for places, but also a meeting. This is no longer a chamber event, but a serious international forum. Special attention is given to children and juniors. Here, the future of the discipline is being shaped. Dance teaches not only technique, but character. Children learn to hold their back, listen to music, respect a partner. They grow accustomed to responsibility, to the fact that results don't appear with a snap of the fingers. In the hall, it's visible immediately. In their walk, their gaze, the way young participants prepare to step out. Kazakhstan's pairs have noticeably raised their level in recent years. They are distinguished by focus and inner strength. They don't chase effect at any cost. They work for quality, and international experts recognize it. Such growth is no accident. Behind it lies systematic work.
Я тоже сейчас вышел сразу после финала.
I just came off the floor right after the final. The sporting aspect is very important, but so is the inner feeling. Artistry is also judged. In fact, it's easier to say you need to be an athlete in order to fully show your artistry.
Ты смог показать весь свой артистизм. На самом деле танец — это жизнь.
Dance is life. Above all, it is emotion, inspiration, the words left unsaid. Sometimes we speak them through figures, through our movements. It is perhaps the language of the body.
Через свои движения. Да, то есть, как сказать, это, наверное, язык тела.
At every tournament, there comes a moment when it becomes clear this is not just sport, it happens unexpectedly. For example, when a young participant, barely 15, says she wants to show the audience the beauty of her dance. Not to win at any cost, not to line up trophies, but to show. In that word, you already hear the artist. Here, ambitious juniors meet seasoned masters, and in the festival's corridors, you hear different answers to the same question. Why are you here? Some admit they come for a victory, others say the most important thing is pleasure and emotion, and some believe participation itself means growth. Each is right in their own way, because in the end, on the floor, there remains only the person and the music.
I dance for the audience. I want to show my dance, show how beautiful it is, and the atmosphere of the tournament too.
Атмосферу турнира также.
To show myself, to feel my body, for the thrill. I'm here to win, and he's here to take part. Anastasia Popko, Arsenij Starkov from Minsk.
Больше для
More
себя.
for myself, more for the feeling. At a younger age, maybe it was about medals and cups. Now it's about my own development. Alibek Jusibai from Astana.
Алибек со Астаны.
When I perform for the audience, when I see their response, something clicks inside me. Butterflies in my stomach, and that means a lot.
Вот, появляются какие-то бабочки в животе, и это...
My name is Kirill Popovich from St. Petersburg, Russia. To take part, yes. To enjoy the dance above all. To be in the moment. To savor the dance.
To participate, to feel emotions from yourself, your dance, the audience. To grow, to become better, and to bring beauty into the world.
Красоту.
Judges see everything. They notice the slightest inaccuracy. Top-level qualities recognized instantly. But when 6 of the strongest couples step into the final, it becomes a championship of nuances. Then it's not only the step that matters, but the pause between steps. Not only technique, but how the dancer lives the music. Modern couples have grown physically stronger. Training resembles that of professional athletes. Endurance, speed, coordination, all brought to a system. Yet despite the athletic discipline, there is always room for fragility. In rumba, silence within the movement matters. In waltz, lightness is created by hard work. Silkway values precisely this balance. There is a special kind of silence that arises only at competitions. It is not the absence of sound, it is expectation. The audience has not yet applauded, the music has not yet begun, but in the air you already feel the anticipation of beauty. In those seconds, every dancer understands why they are here and that everything depends on them.
Наша харизма формируется частично от того, где мы
Our
живем.
charisma is shaped partly by where we live. People from the south are more temperamental, more positive. People from the north, a bit more reserved, stronger. I believe Kazakh dancers are very determined. They have a deep inner world. I would say they are strong in spirit. That's what I feel.
И, ну, я бы сказал, сильные. Такие сильные духом, я чувствую.
Dance, once considered a social pastime, today demands discipline on the level of professional sport. Dresses sparkle, hairstyles are flawless. But behind the glamour lie hours of exhausting training. And yet, despite the rigor of competition, the hall retains a festive atmosphere. People meet, exchange contacts, discuss music and technique. Some leave with medals, some with experience, some with the resolve to work even harder. This festival reminds us that success is built from details, and sometimes, here among bright lights and strict evaluations, a person realizes something simple. They chose the right path. Silkway has, over the years, created a special atmosphere for the decisive step onto the parquet. Organization runs like a mechanism that allows no failures. Judges are focused, musicians attentive, spectators ready to enjoy the rhythm. In the final, it becomes especially clear how complex ballroom dance truly is. It is not only aesthetics, it is strategy, psychological resilience, control of breath. A dancer must remain an artist even when muscles refuse to obey. They must hold the line even when fatigue whispers to give up.
Есть поговорка nature and nurture.
There is a saying, nature and nurture.
Природы и
What we are given by nature and shaped by our environment.
бальные спортивные танцы.
In ballroom dancing, in ballroom sport, we create beauty. The way we walk, the way we express ourselves, every day leaves its mark on our personality.
Накладывает отпечаток на нашу личность.
Sometimes you enter a room and people say, "You're dancers, aren't you?"
Сразу
And
видно.
it's immediately clear by the way we carry ourselves. That's wonderful. We work with beauty, so much beauty. People practice sport, live a healthy lifestyle, wear elegant clothes, communicate beautifully, attend beautiful events. All of this is truly remarkable.
Одежда, общаются, одеваются, мероприятия.
For Kazakhstan, hosting a tournament of this level has become an important milestone. The country has firmly secured its place on the map of international dance competitions. Here they know how to welcome guests, create conditions, and maintain high standards. But the most important thing is this: young dancers sitting in the hall see a high benchmark before them. They realize the big stage is within reach, and when the winners are announced, emotions finally break free. Some rejoice, some are disappointed, some silently watch the scoreboard, trying to remember the moment forever. Because in just a few hours, the music will fade, the hall will empty, the lights will go out, and the dresses will be carefully packed away. But the story doesn't end there. Tomorrow, someone will open the door to the training hall again. Turn the music back on, repeat the basic step, try a new variation. And so, the next cycle begins.
Mm-hmm.